Hi, I'm Jeff from New York. Please like and subscribe.
Episode 56. You're under arrest. When Jonah heard Abraham address Jeff's Jaden Miles, she snickered to herself.
Jaden Miles.
She thought.
What nonsense. But wait a moment. Why is that name so familiar? Oh, right. It was that rich student from Minnie's live broadcast room.
Jonah finally understood that Jeff had used a fake identity to get himself invited to the banquet.
This loser is quite smart. It's just that he never expected Jake and me to be here. And he never thought he'd be lucky enough to win a diamond necklace. Jeff, you're so pleased with yourself for winning the prize. But just wait. I'm going to expose you right now and get you put in jail.
As expected, Jonah's shout caused a huge uproar, and the other guests started to talk excitedly amongst themselves. Jeff sighed.
Now, Jonah's caused such a ruckus. It's going to be even harder to keep under radar. Everyone's going to want to know who I am, and as part of the Florento family, it'll be really difficult to keep my identity hidden.
He thought.
For now, I'll just try to deny it. Miss, what are you talking about? I don't understand.
Jeff took the microphone and said blandly to Jonah.
Hey, you're still pretending to be rich, aren't you? In front of so many decent people. Tell them who you really are.
Jonah answered aggressively.
Mr. Sterling already announced who I am. Since it seems that you didn't understand, I'll tell you again. I'm Jaden Miles.
If you really are Jaden Miles, then tell me, which company are you from?
Jonah wanted to expose Jeff. The people attending the party were all well-known business people in New York. So who is he going to pretend to be?
I don't need to answer your questions. I have business here worth $350,000 with this company.
Jeff's expression became increasingly serious.
Haha, 350,000? You've got the audacity to talk about 350,000 when that's the amount you stole from the school? Are you completely brain dead?
Jonah assumed that Jeff had blurted that out, thoughtlessly in a moment of desperation.
Then it's easy to find out the truth. Let Mr. Sterling tell us if you really have a $350,000 business here, or you just spouting nonsense to all of us. I'll soon prove that you're up to no good. If you're hoping everyone will think you're innocent, dream on.
She thought. The others also focused their attention on Abraham. Deep down, they were also suspicious of Jeff.
Mr. Miles, and I do have a business worth $350,000. In fact, within the next 2 years, we'll have another business worth $5 million.
Abraham said to the guests at the tables.
How is this possible?
The smile on Jonah's face froze. At that moment, her mind was in turmoil.
Why is Mr. Sterling colluding with Jeff? Where did Jeff get the $350,000 from? It can't be true. Everything must be a scam. It's Jeff's doing. No, please don't believe Jeff. That scammer. Look, I have his photo on my phone. He's really just a loser at our school. He stole $350,000 last month. I have pictures to prove everything. Look.
Jonah opened her cell phone and showed Jeff's photo around to the other guests. However, the others didn't even bother to look at the photos. They had trusted Abraham and had taken his word as truth. They had no more doubts.
Is this girl mad?
One of the guests asked. A well-dressed gentleman said.
She thought she had won the necklace just now. I think this girl is just jealous.
His wife agreed.
You're right. What a vulgar girl. The necklace is expensive, but it's not acceptable to maliciously hurt someone else to get your way.
Young lady, please stop messing around and sit down.
Abraham frowned and said to Jonah. Jonah was determined to make her point that she was pulled down by Jake. Abraham was already angry, and it would be extremely humiliating if he had them physically thrown out by security. Jonah sat down and used her phone to call 911. If the school didn't call the police, then she would let the police find the truth.
Do I really have nothing better to do?
Abraham muttered to himself. He looked at Jonah and thought.
What am I supposed to do if you continue to slander Jeff?
Abraham took the necklace from his assistant and handed it over to Jeff respectfully.
Thank you.
Jeff said calmly, supporting the necklace with his hands. He turned to Lelaine and said,
We've been dating for a bit now, but I've never given you anything really beautiful. Today, I'll use this necklace to make up for it, and I'll buy you something even better in the future."
Then Jeff put the necklace on Lelane's neck and arranged it for her. Wearing the diamond necklace, Lelane looked stunning. She looked just like an elegant woman from a noble family. Jonah, who was sitting in the audience, could barely contain her anger.
Miss West, Miles has given you the $200,000 diamond necklace. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Abraham said to Lelane with a smile.
Go on, say something.
Called out one of the guests. Another gentleman said.
Tell us how you're feeling.
Kiss him.
Called out his wife. The guests at the tables all started calling out to Lelane. Lelane's face turned red. She looked at Jeff, begging him for help, but she found that he was barely looking at her. He gave her a small smile, but seemed distracted. The jeering from the tables continued. Lelane fiddled with the corner of her dress and criticized Jeff in her mind.
Stupid Jeff, can't he see I need help?
But everyone was watching, so Lelane gritted her teeth and stepped over to Jeff to gently kiss his lips. Jeff was happy.
At least she still wants to kiss me.
Lelane only wanted to kiss him lightly. She didn't expect Jeff to grab her, hug her and act like a lout. He stuck his tongue into her mouth in front of everyone. Lelane was stupefied. She felt extremely ashamed. She wanted to reject him, but she couldn't make him stop. She tried to look into Jeff's eyes, but they were closed. He seemed to be enjoying himself. In front of so many people, there wasn't much that Lelane could do, so she let Jeff continue kissing her. He kissed her for more than 20 seconds before he slowly let go. Then he wiped his lips in satisfaction and looked at Lelane with a cheeky smile. Lelane grimaced. She calmly reached behind Jeff and pinched him on his side. When she saw him smile at her with tears in his eyes, she felt satisfied. At that moment, the main door of the banquet hall opened and 3 uniformed police officers walked in. Everyone was perplexed.
What was going on? Why were the police here?
When Jonah saw them, a smile appeared on her face.
Jeff, you shameless swindler. It's time to go to jail.
She thought. Jonah ran to the police excitedly and pointed at Jeff on the stage. She said,
Officer, I'm the one who called you. Our school lost $350,000 and it was that man on stage who stole the money. All the teachers will tell you it's true. Arrest him.
Her eyes flashed with a cruel smile.
Jeff, you're finished.
She thought.
I'm sorry, but you're confused, young lady. We're not responding to a 911 call. We're here based on other evidence that we've gathered.
One of the officers said solemnly.
What?
Jonah was stupefied.
But it seems like you were talking about the same case. We're here to arrest the suspect.
That's good to hear, officer. Go on then.
Jonah said with relief.
Arrest him.
With a shout from the police captain, the 2 sergeants behind him rushed forward, not toward Jeff, but Jake. The 2 officers quickly pushed Jake to the ground. Jake protested and tried to fight them off. Jonah tried to stop them.
Officer, you're arresting the wrong guy. That's my boyfriend. The guilty man is on stage. Let Jake go.
Jonah wanted to pull the police away to save Jake.
You're his girlfriend.
The police captain looked at Jonah and said to the other 2 officers.
Take her as well.
Jonah was determined not to let them arrest her. She screamed at them.
What are you doing? I'll sue you for wrongful arrest. Let me go.
Jonah was furious.
Why aren't the police arresting the real criminals? These stupid police don't know what they're doing. Trying to arrest me and Jake.
She continued to shout at them.
So you're really going to arrest me? Fine. I'll tell your boss about this. Your career is over.
The police captain smiled and said,
Little girl, be careful of what you're saying. Let me ask you, where did you get all these designer clothes and expensive jewelry according to our records? You and your boyfriend have been visiting designer boutiques, luxury hotels, and other expensive establishments a lot this month. Where did you get all this money from?
Jonah replied grumpily.
Ha! You're assuming that my boyfriend's family doesn't have any money, right? Just because the police receive handouts from all these rich families. Do you think you can randomly arrest innocent people?
Jake's family owns a karaoke bar and a medium-sized restaurant. They barely count as a rich family. How do you think he could afford to spend so much money this month?
A policeman asked. Jonah suddenly realized that Jake had been spending a lot of money this month. Before this money, he had spent some money on her, but they had only been out for nice meals every few days, and he had occasionally paid for her to go to the spa. But this last month, Jake had taken her shopping in all kinds of luxury boutiques almost every day. He had regularly spent at least $10,000 or $20,000 on her. It was way more than the previous months. A terrifying possibility entered Jonah's mind.
Could it be?
At this moment, the police captain expressed her thoughts for her. He said,
We've received a report and we've gathered plenty of evidence. Jake is the thief who stole the money from Peston University. We're not yet sure of your involvement, but we'll be investigating further. Right now, it is our legal obligation to apprehend you.